you know, both.
Start off with questions or any comments on the game first?
We'll go right to questions.
Well, yeah, oh, I thought you were, sorry, right back here, Nick Hayes. Nick Hayes.
Hi, Coach.
You tried to tell me about that zone, huh? Tried to tell me about it. I appreciate that. We look like we'd never seen one. Okay, your question.
Well, my question would be, what did you see from Phoenix's zone?
Saw a lot of unorganization on our part. That's what I saw. Look, at the end of the day, defenses are gonna be switching things up. I thought their zone was effective. We didn't handle it very well. I thought we held the ball a lot. We didn't get into gaps, stood a lot. So we just gotta up the activity. I'll try to put something a little bit simpler in there for us to run. But I think we just have to get used to defenses switching up. I think as long as Chelsea's, not out there, they're gonna put pressure on us to constantly make reads. That's what I would do. Mix up defenses, make us run different stuff, and they did that tonight.
Terrell Emerson, Talk That Talk Media. 2 questions if possible, Coach. Earlier this season, or I'll take it back, earlier tonight rather, you were coaching, up coaching. Tyler was right behind you and right to the left of you. Chelsea was up as well. You talked over the last couple of seasons about how much of a benefit it is to have the mind of Chelsea Gray on the court. Obviously, you'd rather have her out there, but how much of a benefit is that to have that sitting in the coaching ranks with you right now?
It's like having another coach. I mean, she knows she has the green light to speak and communicate. A lot of times I'm watching something else and she can get them and have their ear more on the bench, where they can make some adjustments. But I mean, it's like having another coach, but we like the coach on the floor too. So, we'll make it work and we'll figure out. And really it's a really great growth opportunity for the rest of the team, to step up in a different way, whether that's organizing us, making reads, figuring out very quickly, hey, they're in man, or hey, they're in zone. So we'll take the win. Wasn't pretty, but just lets us know we got lots of room for improvement.
Coach, tonight was really special, 10,400 in attendance. A'ja Wilson said she really appreciated that Tom Brady went into the locker room and spoke to the team. Can you share more on Tom making that effort and what it meant to you?
Well, obviously, we always think we have the best ownership group, starting with Mark. And, I thought it would be cool to bring a sports figure in who's not only invested in us and our team, but also knows a few things about winning. Just on a little bit. So just let him have the floor a little bit, because he's somebody that, has sat where they sat and chasing history and trying to be the greatest. So those things don't just happen. You really have to be intentional about your work, about your approach, and be intentional about winning the moments. So we're certainly happy that he came and shared some of his knowledge and passion and really love for women's sports is what he talked about in there. So yeah, kind of cool moment. I think a couple of people's jaws hit the floor because I didn't tell them about it.
Coach, over here, Cassandra Cousineau with LV Sports Biz. So obviously Chelsea's out. How long do you expect her to be out, and who are you looking to be the kind of main point going forward? You had a couple of different combinations out there today.
Yeah, I didn't like that combination at the start of the second quarter. So we'll work on that a little bit. We're still working out the wrinkles a little bit. Like I said, no one person is going to fill those shoes. We have to do it collectively. It means the ball's in Jackie's hands more, it's in Kelsey's hands more. And it's just next person up. I got to find some more minutes for Megan, but when they went in that zone, I started calling stuff that I haven't put in yet. So I had to play the vets that knew it. Even though that looked like kind of crap too, it is what it is. We'll move on and get better, but it's next man up. And everybody got to do a little bit more. That's it.
Two more in the room and we'll go to Zoom. We got Gil back and we'll finish out.
Coach, you worked over on Channel 8. Two questions. You mentioned what you didn't like about your team. What did you like from your team tonight, and also your initial thoughts on the Rings?
Thought we did a decent job of defending without fouling. Obviously it was a physical game. But we kept an attacking mentality. I like shooting a lot of free throws. Thought there was a lot of hits and grabs, and you know, you go to the line and you benefit from that. There were some moments that I really liked. When the ball was popping, we were playing out of our defense. My favorite moments is when I don't have to do crap. They just call their own, there's no play. It's just they're playing out of their defense and playing with principles. They're playing and making reads on the defense on the fly. It's not any set play. Plays tend to be predictable, but it's about making reads out of those plays. But when we're running out of our defense, we're just playing. And I think those were our better moments tonight. And we had more of those moments where the ball was popping out of the stops on defense, where it get changed side to side, rather than that half court where we kind of got bogged down and you know, we had limited ball and player movement in our half court offense, and that's not good. So look, first game of the season, look like it. We'll be all right, and we'll smooth some things out.
Coach Alex Eshelman, with Channel 13, sorry. I'll help Gil out here. He asked about the Rings. Would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. And then alluding to Palumbo's question, you said a couple of your players' jaws dropped when they saw Tom Brady walk in. Could you reveal who that might have been, or what your favorite reaction was?
Well, Kate Martin, I know, was like a little awestruck. KP, we know, loves Tom. No, it was great. It was great. Kind of had him in the back, so they didn't really know he was coming on to the floor. And what was your other question?
The Rings.
Oh, the Rings. Yeah, those. They're big and heavy. I hadn't seen them, so it was pretty cool to see them kind of for the first time. Everybody saw them for the first time. They're bigger than last year's. So Mark, he's like, you know, he keeps raising the standard too on himself in ways. So yeah, it was a special moment. We got some things we got to run to celebrate that. And hopefully, you know, the new players get to see and feel a taste of that, and it makes them hungrier to have that moment, you know, to get some hardware. So we all got to stay motivated. We all have to stay thirsty, and know that we have a lot of work ahead of us. But it was definitely a special moment tonight. And I guess Kathy got my text on the jacket. My bestie.
Matthew, we've got time for one quick one.
Hey, Becky, it looked like early in the game you guys were switching on defense and you were getting turnovers, playing out of your defense like you like. And then it seemed in the second and third quarter, even as you were switching, it just wasn't working. And it was some of your switches, you were getting lost and you weren't switching up, and Phoenix was hitting threes. And I was just wondering your thoughts on the defense and how you maybe need to adjust or work on that part of switching on your ball screens to better help against that as the season progresses.
I just saw a lot of not solid. I mean, they know what they're supposed to do. There's a reason why when we first come out of the gates, we're real sharp. We have to maintain that sharpness throughout the game, and we didn't. Some of this stuff is different too, you know. With Megan, when we're switching a lot, it's hard for her to guard Khalid Copper. You know, where Asia and Kia, it's a little bit easier for them. So in some ways, we're still trying to incorporate some of our rules in our base defense, which we were in base defense basic for most of the game. And the switching at times just got lazy. You can't be lazy. There's no time to rest. You know. Diana gets 11 threes off. Basically pretty open. That's a problem. So it just tells me we're not locked in, we're not touching, we're not physical, we're not disruptive. Conversely, I thought we came out like that, but as the game went on, you know, the mind, the attention to detail, the physicality can sometimes slip. And that's always the challenge is fighting that natural human tendency to have slippage as you get tired or you're not as locked in. You got to stay locked in the whole time. They made multiple runs at us. But at the end of the day, you know, I felt good about winning 3 out of the 4 quarters, even though the second quarter was a real stinker. But we'll learn from it and move on. And my biggest thing is just getting more organized and communicating, because there was times where we're calling play calls and it's not getting down the line. So that communication piece, both offensively and defensively, has a lot of room for improvement.
Thank you.
Part of talking though is listening, so we gotta have good listeners.
Thank you.
Thanks,